It's the one everyone wants to know. How much did my van conversion cost me? Over the last year, my dad and I have been converting this long wheelbase Peugeot Boxer into a motorhome for me. Over the course of the build, I kept tabs of everything, every order, everything like that. I kept tabs of it all, so I know exactly how much I have spent. So I'm just going to dive right in. Just if you're here just to know the total, then let's get that out of the way with first. The total for everything I have spent on this build is £10,492.23. Yeah. And then add 10k on for the van. So it's more like £20,492.23 all in. I was on a budget. I sold my car, and that's the original budget I had. It's gone over by £2,500, but you know, the bulk of it was paid for using the sale of my car. My lovely little Audi that I am starting to miss just a little bit. So really, I've had to scrape together £2,500 myself to finish it off. So how is that 10,000 broken down? I have split this up into categories. Obviously, some of the categories overlap a bit, but it'll just give you an idea as to roughly where I've spent the money. Preparation, external, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, gas, electrics, plumbing, and lights, with a few little bits extra in there as well. Okay, so let's get to it. Preparation includes reverse camera, new battery, because when I actually got the van, I had to replace the vehicle battery. So I've thrown that in there as well. Sound deadening, rust treatment, vapor barrier, and insulation. All of those combined were £343.97 for the preparation work. Then I have got external or roof. So windows, I've got 2 windows. Skylights, I've got 2 skylights, a fan, and the ox beam lights. Now the ox beam lights were a brand deal, so they were a freebie. So that saved me a couple of £100, but the rest of them, windows, skylights and fan, they equal £985.90. It's quite a bit, isn't it? Although not as much as the next one. The next category is the electrics. This includes the solar, the battery, the MPP charger, the DNS charger, the inverter, and I've thrown in the Truma as well. So that is my hot water and heating system. So the battery was 1,046 for my lithium battery, 200 amp hours, and the Truma was 1,000. So that's 2, just so you get an idea. The solar was 576, and the MPP, the DNS, and the inverter and everything like that brings the total to £3,556.66. So nearly £4,000 on electrics. Before I started this, obviously I asked my dad before I sort of went ahead, can you please help me? Because I don't know what I'm doing. And the 2 pieces of advice he gave me were, you do not skimp on your electrics and you do not skimp on your heating. So the Truma is the heating, £1,000. And we have gone all out for the electrics and bought some really good stuff, good quality items with long warranties on them. So yes, you could do electrics for a lot cheaper, but my dad said to me, if I'm doing this with you, my condition is you put proper money into electrics so I don't have to worry about you. So the biggest bulk of the build was the electrics at £3,556. Woof! Okay, next up is the gas. And we had problems with the gas, didn't we? The original people that I went to charged me £1,000 for the equipment and to get the gas fitted. Now, they didn't finish the work, did they? So I had to go elsewhere. But luckily, I found some very kind gentlemen that finished off the job for £30. So the LPG install, underslung gas tank, was a total of £1,030. Next up is the bathroom. And this one's really funny for me. So ironic, because halfway through the build, we'd done all the prep work, we'd done all of the cladding and insulation and everything, and we were going to start building. And I priced up the bathroom, and at the time, I couldn't get it for any cheaper than £800. And I just said to my dad, I said, there's no way I'm paying £800 for the bathroom. Let's move on to something else, and I'll come back to it, and I'll do a bit more research. Well, the total spend for the bathroom in the end was £1,116.53. So good logic there, Beck. And most of that is the loo. So the Simplu compost toilet was £554. The shower tray was £114. The purple PVC was £70.92. The shower door The roll door shower door, which I knew from the beginning that I wanted, and it was a case of just, you have to save up the money to afford this, was the roll door shower door. And that was £335.98. Now, I know that's an awful lot of money, but having that retractable door is worth every penny, in my opinion. For my needs, it's absolutely fabulous, and I am glad that I spent the money on that. So total bathroom. This also includes like the shower trims, the shower head, the shower hose, the mixer, everything like that. So that's £1,116.53. Next up is the plumbing. The plumbing includes water tanks, pipes, accumulator, pump, filters, and any other bits that we needed to put together for the plumbing system. And that is £531.87 total. But over 300 of that was the water tanks alone. So, because I opted for 100-litre water tanks, they cost me £179 and £165 respectively. So that's where the bulk of the plumbing comes from. The pipe work was £32, the accumulator was £80, and the pump was £60. So the bulk of that is plastic water tanks, which, draw your own conclusions from why they cost so much money, but Next up, the kitchen. So famously, I reclaimed most of the kitchen from those free pallets of wood. I think I spent £40 in total for the wooden beams that made the kitchen. But other than that, the kitchen carcass only cost me £40 because I was given the worktop for free and I reclaimed a lot of the ply. So the price of the kitchen total was £1,340. Now, where's that money come from, Becca? The appliances! 12-volt appliances cost $1. So the kitchen cost includes the appliances, the sink, which was free because that's my parents' wedding present from 46 years ago. The tap, which I got down from £180 to £50 using my excellent trick, and any wood that it used to create it. So £1,340 for the kitchen. And the bed, the cheapest bit of all, the bed slats were £35 from IKEA, and the bed frame, so these extendable metal struts, were £60. So the bed in total cost me £95 because I already had the mattress from my old house, so I just put the mattress on top of that. So the bed was only £95, which is quite good, isn't it? Other things that I have marked down are lights, which were £46, the table stand, which was £72, and carpet and glue, which was £50 all in. So the total for all of these top things is £9,471.28. So what that leaves left over is £1,021.03. Now, this is for everything else. So all of the ply, any wood that we've used, including edging, L-shapes, things like that, brackets, screws, tools, vents, handles, rattan for the cupboards, plugs, corking, sealant, screws, anything like that. That is all cost me about £1,021. Miscellaneous, other things to note, I have also had to spend quite a bit of money on the van itself. So like I said, when I first got it, I got a new battery, that was £200. I've also had to replace the back light that I broke in that accident. I've had to have a new tyre, I've had to have a new wing mirror because country lanes, a truck smashed mine off. I did film it, but I never put the video out. I might do, you never know. I've had to pay for a new turbo. I've also replaced some brakes and the wipers when I first got it. So the total of this money spent on the actual van itself for maintenance is £1,300 in a year. And that is excess to the £10,000 that I have paid for the van. So there we have it. Costs complete. Now, yes, there are still bits left to do. For example, we've got to add in the flip-up countertop. But I've already bought the brackets and that's been included in here. I've already got all the extra wood that I'm going to need. I've already basically got all the ply that I'm going to need to finish off. I've got the paint and things like that. Oh yeah, I spent £200 on paint. £200 on paint to paint this. Mental. So I presume we're not going to go above this. I'm hopeful that the total is going to be £10,500 for the van. So 20,000 all in. Not bad, eh? I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's bad at all. You couldn't get a house for 20 grand, could you? Couldn't even get a flat share for that. So I'm chuffed. I've got a house for £20,000 and it moves. My van is done to an extremely high spec. Every single person that sees it tells me that, and I know that, and I could have done things a lot cheaper, but I didn't want to, you know. The beauty of this lifestyle is you can tailor it however you want. You can make things however you like. You can spend as little or as much money as you want. If you want to just chuck a mattress in the back and get a really good sleeping bag, you can do. But because this was going to be my full-time house and not just a weekend getaway, and my dad gave me the good advice of his engineer brain, I have spent a good amount of money on some very good quality items. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And this, I also actually got quite a few freebies as well. So it could have cost me a lot more, but luckily I had some very kind people around me throughout the build, and they have sort of given me little offcuts and things that they don't need and extras. So very grateful. If you've given me something and you're watching this, thank you very much. I'm so appreciative. So there we have it. One van build, £10,492.23. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace out.